Greetings again, adventurers, and welcome back to Let's Play Revelations Persona. In the last episode, we'd finally encountered Guido Sardinia, branch president of Sebek and Lunavale, and we defeated his bodyguard Tiny as well as 4 Sebek agents, and were chasing after him. We've finally cornered him here. And he is not alone. Beside him is, of course, the Dr. Nicholas that we heard from the other scientists while exploring Sebek's hidden passages. And it seems like Dr. Nicholas isn't quite going along with Guido's plans. Yeah. Some scientists thought he was a traitor, but I think he does have a conscience. Dr. Nicholas is a world-renowned scientist who made the Deva System for Guido. In Megami Ibunroku Persona, Dr. Nicholas is actually Dr. Nikolai, which essentially means in the Japanese version that he's Russian, but they changed it to Dr. Nicholas for localization, even though they're pretty much the same thing. Ah yes, Guido is as callous and as self-interested as always, and that is a very ominous looking machine that it leads to us standing in front of. That must be the Deva System itself, and Guido within, I think it's called a Oedipus complex, I think, or God complex in any case. He basically thinks he's God. Wait a minute, so you sent somebody into another dimension using the Deva System? So we can rule out Ellen and Ilana, a boy who, by all accounts, was wearing a St. Hermelin uniform, same as us. That pretty much is a moot question, Dr. Nicholas, considering what we learned when we first met him. But of course, Guido will see his plans through to the end, and he has the power of persona as well. We don't know the full capabilities of Guido's persona, but I imagine it's quite devastating. Yeah, Nancy was right. Guido doesn't care what happens to the people of Lunavale or the town itself. It's 4 of us against, well, 1 of him. But we shouldn't really fight with Dr. Nicholas in the way. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, Guido didn't think 1 iota of Tiny or Takeda, but considering the fact that he was able to use the power of persona as well, he wasn't as weak as you think. But then again, we did defeat him. So, yeah. But Nate wants to be the one to deal the finishing blow to Guido personally. That's not good. It seems like they're going inside the Deva System, and in fact, the Deva System was actually foreshadowed in the opening FMV of Revelations Persona. There actually appears to be a hologram of the Deva System by the console there. And yet for some strange reason Mary seems to have some form of recognition with the Deva System, which is kind of strange. And that whirring, broken mechanical sound means that Guido has activated the Deva system from within. Ah, but it's not Guido's doing. His body is fading away into the ether. Yes, indeed. Dr. Nicholas's conscience has won out in the end. And he could not condone his own superior for his transgressions. Yes, indeed. He made you think he was a traitor to his fellow scientists, but in the end, he followed his own conscience. And apparently it will stop when Nicholas and Guido are no more. And apparently doing so will return the town back to normal, according to Dr. Nicholas. And Guido pleading with us to stop the Deva system, which is kind of an interesting turn of events. Of course, we do have another dilemma on our hands. As much as we would love for Guido Sardinia to just vanish into nothingness, Dr. Nicholas shouldn't have to suffer for Guido's ego. Yeah. I'm actually with Mark on this one. But Nate seems to have other ideas. Although, while I understand his sentiment, I still think that Dr. Nicholas shouldn't really give his life for just to stop Guido. I mean, we could pretty much take care of him ourselves. Although yet again, we still have his persona to deal with. But, seems that Mary has found a way to stop the Deva system itself. A red button and a blue button. Red is stop, the blue button is the booster. If we push the red button, we can bring them back. Well, and that is a very good question. How does she know? Truly, we have a dilemma on our hands. I know you want vengeance for what happened to Alfred, but Dr. Nicholas shouldn't have to pay for that. Interesting sentiment from you there, Mark. And even Mary doesn't want to see Dr. Nicholas waste his life, admirable though it was. Now, we can actually examine this. Dimension Variable Accelerator System. It's a hologram for the Deva system. I think, yeah, I think that would, it's actually, yeah, DV. I think that would actually be Deva instead of Deva, or Deva. That acronym isn't quite right, but it is actually supposed to be the Deva system. And here's the console with the red and blue buttons. If we place the blue button, we'll just send them off into, we'll just accelerate the process, and we don't want to see Dr. Nicholas perish, so we're going to push the red button. That's the least we can do. And yet something has happened. Something has, things haven't quite worked out the way that we hoped. That's actually a bad sign. Oh, maybe it is. Guido apparently is phasing back into existence. We're not calling out to you at all, Guido. Are you going insane? Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Dr. Nicholas, but we couldn't let you sacrifice yourself just to stop Guido. We'll take care of him ourselves. Could he be referring to Mary? Wait, what the? Well, this music is kind of eerie. It's a little girl. A girl in black. The girl in black that we've been hearing so much about. The girl in black that Mary was talking about back at St. Hermelin. And I'm going to hazard a guess that the person you're referring to as Daddy is none other than Guido himself. Take me to your world. Does that mean that the girl in black has come from an alternate dimension? Well, then again, we did encounter a girl in white when we first initiated the Persona game. I wonder if there is a connection. And it seems like the girl in black has magical spiritual powers. Because why not? And it seems you can activate the Deva System of her own accord. And engulf us in the blinding light and whisk us away to another dimension. Through the wormhole we go, and we emerge Terminator style, Terminator 1. And the vortex has vanished. And we appear to be in an empty room. And yet, something about this aesthetic seems kind of familiar to me, and I can't quite place my finger on why. And we're all regaining consciousness, except for Nate, who's still lying drooling on the floor. But the four of us made it safe and sound, and Nate is finally awake. Fantastic. Of course we're alive. Fortunately, I mean, if the girl wanted to send us to a completely different dimension, I suppose there was nothing we could do to stop her. But, yeah. Apparently Mark's recognized where we are as well. Apparently this was the gym that was demolished 6 months ago. Or that was renovated 6 months later. Wait a minute. What do you mean by we've seemed to have come back? That's kind of bizarre, Mary. But then again, a lot's been happening there. Could it be that we've been brought 6 months back into the past? Something still doesn't feel right. It seems that Mary is actually telling the truth. But that's really bizarre. Wait a minute, Bruce? You mean you've encountered him? The same Bruce that's been missing for 2 months? And there's finally somebody else. So that means we are definitely back in St. Hermelin for all intents and purposes. And apparently Bruce is here. And apparently the girl in black is wreaking havoc. But things are starting to get kind of weird. Too weird for my liking. And Mary has vanished, obviously. We'll need to go after her at some point. And with Mary no longer in the party, we'll need to bring Mark back up to the front row. There we go. And we don't really need anything else. Yeah, getting that vibe. Amnesia wouldn't explain this kind of phenomenon. Yeah. Too true. Mary was in the hospital during that time. In fact, she was in there for more than 6 months. And yet Mary claims that she's never been hospitalized. Things are getting even more curious. Let's talk to you. And the students are saying something that we already learned in the second or third episode of this Let's Play adventure. That yeah, Nate trying out a thought experiment, and I can see where he's going with this. The track meet is a month from today. The same track meet that Miss Smith told us to prepare for after we got knocked out. Yeah. If this really was 6 months ago... Yeah. The gym is the way that it was 6 months ago, but for all intents and purposes, time has not changed. That's incredibly bizarre. But, well, with the gym being the way it is, well, and there's somebody else over here that we can talk to. Yeah, you're on drugs. You're just hallucinating there. Pay it no mind. But with the gym the way that it is now, all of those rooms, the club rooms, no longer exist. This is pretty much all that there is. And as you can see, the basketball court is nowhere to be found. But let's go out and explore the other areas of St. Hermelin, shall we? And the hole is gone. That's kind of odd. Yeah, I mean, well, we planned to board it up, but they must have done a very thorough job. But actually, I don't think anyone did block up that hole. Nate's still focused on Guido. And apparently these students know the girl in black as well. That's kind of peculiar. Apparently this student is reminded of someone by the girl in black. But with this hole blocked up, we can't go out this way. And Well, so we're in St. Hermelin, and yet it's not the St. Hermelin that we remember from way back when. Something truly peculiar is definitely happening here, but we'll solve that mystery soon enough, as well as trying to catch up with Guido, because we can definitely say that he's somewhere here. Well, wherever here is. So when we return, adventurers, we shall, well, continue to explore the rest of St. Hermelin High and, well, try and piece together just exactly what the hell is happening here. As always, dear adventurers, until next we meet.